Here at Macgyver's Workshop, we build, fix, or re-engineer just about anything. You never know what we'll be working on next. And if you're not too careful, you just might learn something. Hi there. Welcome to Macgyver's Workshop. I wanted to do an unboxing video today of some more gear that I bought for my making my videos out in the shop. Wanted to take them up a notch. Wanted to get a, I made a big step when I went from the JVC Mini DV to the Fuji DSLR. But with the DSLR, I'm kind of limited to the built-in microphone, and it doesn't have an external mic jack, so I wanted to look for a camera with one of those, and we will be covering that today. Okay, so what we have today is the Canon Vixia HFR 500. It's a low-end camera. It's not anything super duper, whizzy as far as, video cameras go. However, it does do full HD, 1080p 60 something or another. Anyway, 60 frames. It'll shoot high definition in 60 frames a second. As long, of course, as you have the the good high-speed SD cards, which I did buy. Compliments of Sam's Club. You can get the Class 10 SD cards, 216 gigs, for like $29 and some change. And or they also sell a single 32 gig. But I shoot my video in sections and all, so having a huge video card is not a necessity for me, or a huge SD card. Now, I've got another video that I haven't put it up yet. I haven't even started editing it, but it's a little bitty video I did of me for my work. I work in IT, and every now and then you come across some really neat stuff, and I did a little mini video of that. I don't know whether it's going to come before this video or after this video. Who knows? But anyway, spoilers. But they bought this 512 gig super duper fast. It's like the best, baddest, biggest SD card you can get, and it was like $600. It's just crazy. But that's what they needed. So, but anyway, so we've got this camera. I did some research, and it came pretty well reviewed. And depending on where you buy it, I was going to buy it at Walmart, where it comes with like a 16 or a 32 gig Class 10 SD card, a bag, for $199. But naturally, of course, they were all sold out, and the nearest Walmart that had one was like 80 miles away. So like, screw it. So I went to at this point I'd already bought the SD card, so I just went to Best Buy, and they price matched the camera at $199, and I was actually ended up getting it for $189. So we'll see how it does. And with regard to the external microphone, I would have preferred probably like a lavalier mic, but I don't know that I'm too unhappy with this. If anything, because hey, it's got a hot babe on the box. It's got to be good, right? But it's a it's a wireless head-worn system that I can use out in the shop. And the more I think about it, probably a lav mic is probably going to have a lot of noise from with me moving around and under the hood of a car and everything. You're going to feel the microphone rubbing against my shirt and stuff. So you're probably going to I'm rubbing my finger on the microphone area of the camera, so that's probably what you're going to get a lot of if I had a regular lav mic that was hidden in my shirt. But because I don't really do a whole lot of talking head stuff, it's where you can just stay still and not make any noise. I'm usually out underneath a car draining oil or doing something, so I'll give this a try. and I purchased this from the local musician supply outfit, a place called Sam Ash. They have a store here in Madison, and it's fairly inexpensive. It's about $139, and we're going to give that a try. And then, of course, I'll need a cable to go from the receiver unit of this into the camera, which will, for the most part, be on a tripod. And that's just a simple 1/4 inch, tip ring and sleeve, and quarter to 3.5 millimeter. So let's get unboxing here. So we'll start with the camera. And I'm sure it comes with all the paperwork and instructions. And boy, that's a tiny battery. Jeez. I imagine that's a I don't know what capacity that is, but I'm sure it's small. Of course, I'll use the AC adapter when I'm shooting, because I'm not I'm pretty well contained there in the workshop, so I can set the shots up for doing whatever I need to do with AC power. And let's see, USB cable. This looks like the battery charger and power supply. Funny thing, it looks like it takes the same plug as my JVC did. How about that? And then a USB cable. Well, what is that? Oh, wait a minute. That's not a USB cable. That's an HDMI cable. Wow. Huh. Little mini HDMI to HDMI. That's cool. Usually they don't, it's like a printer, it never comes with a cable. But and here, that's it, is the camera. Very small, very tiny little thing. And of course it has the mount for the tripod on the bottom. And it has the capacitive touchscreen display, which because there's no buttons, they made the screen come out just about, cover the whole thing of the thing here. And what I like about this kind of camera is that I can flip the screen around so that when I have it on the tripod, I can kind of see myself, make sure that I'm in frame, because I very rarely have the benefit of having a camera person, So anyhow, let me plug some stuff up here and get this thing to power up, and we'll see what it does. Okay, so when you flip this thing open, it powers on. Now, according to the specifications online here, which I happen to have up, so it has a 3.28 megapixel full HD CMOS image sensor, and records 1080 60p recording in MP4 and AVCHD progressive for high quality capture of moving subjects. And here's that 3-inch capacitive touch screen. Now it's asking me to pick a language, so I'm going to select English. Alright. I guess that means I got to go to next. Alright. Month, day, year. Okay. Okay, so I've got the little camera going here to where you'll see my camera, and I've got the screen flipped so I can see myself, and I'm going to shoot this scene, and we will record it on this next little bit here. I'll start the camera and we'll record together with both the Fuji and this one and see how it does. So let's see. Okay, you heard the little telltale beep there. So we're basically, I've got the Canon out here at arm's length recording myself, and I'm recording from the Fuji as well. You can see that there. And let me turn the screen around so I can make sure I got everything. That's my little Fujifilm HS10. Been a great little camera. Excellent optics on it. So we're gonna just take a little bitty snapshot here, and then we'll pop the card out and load it into the computer here, and I'll bring the Fuji around so you can watch it on here and see what kind of quality we've got, and just get an idea what kind of the quality the audio is for at least up close like this. I'm sure it's fine, but anyway, there. So I've stopped it, and I shall turn the camera off. We will pop out our little SD card like that, and pop it in here, and I'll bring the camera around here so we can see what we look like here. Okay, so I'm zoomed in on my screen here, and I've got my card loaded into my video editing computer here, and I'm just going to pull it right off the SD card because it's supposedly a super duper fast SD card, and we'll see what we've got here. And let me turn my speakers back on. We're basically, I've got the Canon out here at arm's length recording myself, and recording from the Fuji as well. See that there? Very good quality, isn't it? Screen around so I can make sure I got everything. Considering the crappy light in here, you know, I've got a CFL in here and a great little camera. 4 excellent little optics on candelabra bulbs in my ceiling fan. So we're going to just take a little bitty snapshot here, and then we'll pop the card out and load it into the computer here, and I'll bring the Fuji around so you can watch it on here and see what kind of quality we've got, and just get an idea what kind of the quality the audio is for at least up close like this. I'm sure it's fine, but anyway, yeah, it's not too terribly bad, is it? So now what we're going to do is we'll pop open the microphone and have a look-see at it. Okay, so now what we've got here is we're going to have our little what they call Stage 55 head-worn system, VHF wireless, and you know, Samsung's always been kind of the cheap line that Sam Ash carried, at least back in the day, but you know, I've got a set of a 2-channel wireless mic system for our little assembly area at my work, and an amplifier, and bought like 2 or 3 years ago, and man, those things are still just humming along. So we'll see how we're doing here. Let me adjust my camera just a skosh, and we'll open this bad boy up and see what we got here. And by the way, on this camera here with 16 gig, I've got about an hour of recording time in full-on HD 60p. So, which, you know, is fine with the clips that I work with. You know, I'd rather buy more 16 gig cards than too many 32 gigs. If I was going to shoot more than an hour at a time, I don't know that I need that. But. So here you have it. There's the owner's manual, and this is the receiver. And we will use, it's very similar, this receiver is very similar to the one that that dual channel handheld, which is just like a pair of SM58 copy microphones. And it's been very durable, very reliable, and you know, it's a true diversity system. So you'll have your dual antennas here, but of course the range that I'm going to be using is, you know, irrelevant in the shop. But this will be off to the side, and it'll be wired into the camcorder from the back. You can use XLR balanced. I'll just use the unbalanced and use a converter cable to convert my this is going to be mono into the stereo input on the camera. So, and then what you have here basically is a very light footprint, which is good for me because I don't like, you know, I don't want to feel like I'm freaking Justin Bieber out there in the workshop, you know, with a big, you know, giant ball, you know, hanging off of my something hanging off of my head. So there's a little tiny connector for the cable. It comes up, goes over the back of your ear and down into the fanny pack here. This is the transmitter. And I'm sure it either takes a couple of double A's or something, or 9 volt or something like that, I would imagine. So, oh, there we go. 9 volt. And adjustable gain, love that. Okay, and you also have a pad, which is really good. You know, pad adjustment, that's nice. Have to look in there and see what that does. And then, of course, you turn it on and off. And then, of course, you have your standby button here on the top, and a relative battery indicator, which my Samsung's at work have that on the bottom of the microphone. It says, of course, the microphone and the wireless and everything's all built into the one handheld mic. And of course, they give you a patch cable and power supply for the receiver and all that. So we'll get all this hooked up and do a test with the camera and the microphone and see how it does. Now I'm still in the process of setting all this up. Had to go find a 9 volt battery. Thankfully, I had some out in the shop. Now I can be a true roadie, and now I'm carrying around 9 volt batteries instead of, you know, double A's. But now that I won't miss using the Fuji, because there's no way to power the Fuji from an AC adapter. So you have to use, I just burn through double A batteries like you wouldn't believe. Anyway, I thought I would mention this, add a note to Samsung's pedigree. You know, Samsung is, of course, I mean, they make high-end stuff, but typically they've been more oriented towards the working musician, read broke musician. Myself having a history in music, I spent my time, you know, in my younger days back in the dinosaur age as a keyboard player, and I never was a full-time working musician, but I did do it as a hobby. You know, Weekend Warrior and Galen Calloway, if you're out there, shout out to you. The best, most fun country band I've ever been in. And I still remember that broken crankshaft on that 302 and that like 78 T-Bird you had. Don't know why I remember weird stuff like that. But anyway, as a nod to the working musician, okay, if you're using this up on stage or something, or, you know, if it's a low-budget television production or something, you know, you got a 3.5 millimeter jack here that plugs into the fanny pack. You know, if you've got, typically we would hide the wire through the back of the shirt, and fanny pack would be on your back side here through your belt, and you know, and hidden under a shirt or something so it doesn't show. But, you know, standard 3.5 millimeter plug being plugged in like this, you know, if you bend over or something and it pops out, you know, that'd be an embarrassing faux pas on a set, you know, when you're shooting. Or if you're on stage jumping around like David Lee Roth or something like that, you know, you don't want something like this popping out. So they give you the ability, there's a collar, a threaded collar on here, that when you plug this in, that screws down, and there is no way that that's going to come unplugged. You'll break the cable first. And I just thought I'd mention that here. That's a pretty good, you know, for this being probably about one of the most inexpensive wireless setups. You know, that's pretty good quality for something like this. So anyway, I just thought I'd throw that little bit in there.
I think I pretty well got this thing zoomed all the way up, don't I? Yeah. So, now the microphone feels a little funny, but I imagine I'll get used to it. But the other thing that I noticed, here's something interesting. This is probably an undocumented feature, okay, is that this thing also comes with a little lapel clip. So I could probably use this as a lapel mic as well as this head horn. So that was interesting. They don't mention that in any of the documentation. And there it is. And it just clips onto the boom of the microphone and has a little gator clip on it. It's like a little lavalier mic. So, you know, if I get tired of this, or it doesn't feel good, or if I'm sweating out in the shop or something, or whatever, you know, I may try it either way. But I'm sorry, I just can't help but with this little mic like this going, you know, yes, this is a 3 o'clock in the morning infomercial, and I'm here to sell you the POS Chamois. Oh God, I gotta tickle myself sometimes. But anyway, just that crazy guy that took the Billy Mays place after he croaked. That was kind of a British fella or something. So anyway, so we're going to just see how this goes and go from there. And I'm not using the battery. I'm using the AC adapter. So here's the battery. And you just charge the battery on the camera, so that's kind of cool. If I wanted to, I guess I should just hang it on the back of the camera and let it be charging. But anyway, so let's turn this around and see how it looks and see how it sounds. What do you think?
Ah, surprise! Yeah, I'd actually already shot it, and I'm shooting this on the Fuji. Of course, I've got the Canon shooting in, you know, Super HD, so but it worked pretty good. I got to tweak the gain adjustment on this a little bit and get it, because, you know, this has an automatic gain adjustment built into it, but so does the camera. So I think the camera and them are fighting back and forth. You know, I heard some distortion there when you first start talking, and I'm watching the meter on the camera where it you know, peaks out a lot. So I'm gonna have to work on that, or maybe turn the AGC off in the camera itself, and just maybe I can do that. I don't know. But anyway, so there's the device there. Of course, it's picking up some of my voice as well. The left meter is the audio meter. If I get it up real close and start talking real loud, you'll see the meter bounce there. And then the right is the radio frequency signal strength for my transmitter and receiver. And then, of course, it's wired over here to the camera. And that's pretty much what I shot that little clip with. So anyway, I think it's going to be great. And I'm going to enjoy, of course, I enjoy making these videos for you guys all the time anyway, but God knows I wish I had the time to do it all the time. But anyway, thank you for watching. Stay tuned. Please subscribe. And if you don't mind, just let one of those ads play through every once in a while. Throw me a bone, because I do get a little something from it. But I know I hate ads just as much as anybody else does. But hey, if you ain't got nothing better to do, then watch one, and I'll make a penny for my trouble. So anyway, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, like the video, like my videos, hate my videos. Think I sound like Ben Stein? I think I do, but anyway. Oh God. Anyway, post comments down at the bottom. All comments are welcome, and you can also email me directly at MacGyversWorkshop@gmail.com. So, thank you for watching. Bye.